to apologize in advance because this video is going to be a little ranty, a little unnecessary, a little angry.
So I noticed Bearing was having some trouble with this video. Honestly, I can understand why. Just looking at it and watching it as many times as I have, because I'm a big fan of Bearing's channel, I have noticed that this woman is shocking. She's shocking in how she talks and how she acts, so it makes it really hard not to be able to just stare there in sheer amazement at the stupidity this woman just exhumes from her body. So we're going to try and keep this clean, but I can't make any promises because stupid people irritate the piss out of me.
If you guys knew how long it took for me to get my face looking like this, just to prove a point...
20 minutes. Tops.
Ladies and gentlemen of the world, I am about to rant about the most first world problem of all first world problems.
I think that might be because you don't understand what first world problem means as a term. When somebody says you have a first world problem, it doesn't mean that it's something that only affects people in the first world. What it means is you're complaining. You don't actually have an issue, you don't actually have a problem. You're just bitching at us. And quite frankly, I understand that a lot of people take the term bitching as something horrible, but think about it like this. When you refer to a bitch in the dictionary definition, it means a female dog, usually a female dog in heat. And if you've ever had a female dog, when it's in heat, it yips and barks, and it annoys the piss out of you, and even if you feed it, water it, take it outside, do whatever you need to do for that pet, it doesn't stop barking, because it doesn't actually have a problem, it's just complaining.
But it really bothers me, so please, just humor me for a second, and hear me out. I hate it when people call me beautiful.
And I hate it when people call me a misogynist or an asshole, but guess what? One of those isn't even true, and the other is just being on the internet. But let's face it, when you hate to be called beautiful, let's be honest, it's not because you actually hate to be called beautiful. It's because you want to be referred to as something else, because you have been so polluted by the social justice movement and these idiotic feminists who have decided that it's going to be prudent to take a movement that was about equality and turn it into, in general, just superiority of one particular gender over the other, that you have completely disillusioned the idea of somebody calling you pretty. First impressions are not about, oh, this person is so much smarter than I thought. This person is so much more interesting than I thought. It's a first impression, and no person on the street actually knows who you are. So why would they think to say you are, as you'll say later in the video, 100% all of the time? They don't know that. They don't know anything about you. They only judge you based on your physical appearance the first time they've met you.
You know what's beautiful? Besides an arbitrary arrangement of facial features? Intelligence, creative personality, a love of dogs? I mean, seriously, if you don't love dogs, then we can't be friends.
And how would they know?
Uniqueness is beautiful, individuality, expression of self. I mean, those things are things that I would love to be complimented on.
I'm still trying to figure out the reason why anyone would compliment you for anything after they actually know what you're like.
I would love if someone came to me and was just like, you're 100% all the time. I love how intense and passionate you are.
See what I mean? I warned you people about that. What does that even mean, honestly? You're 100% all of the time. Is that one of those phrases that you kids use these days to try and sound smarter?
Oh my god, I would love to get that compliment. You know how many times I get that compliment? 0. That is exactly how many times I get that compliment.
You don't say. Well, maybe you don't get that compliment all the time because people don't want to compliment you after they know how you are. I mean, this video alone is showing that even if somebody met you on the street and called you physically attractive, when they first saw you, after they got to know you, they would know exactly how ugly you are inside. And let's face it, this isn't about how pretty you are on the outside. It's become how pretty you are in the inside, which I have to say is negligible.
All people can seem to think about is, wow, I really like the look of your face. That doesn't really have anything to do with me besides the single external part that you see and you make a snap judgment on.
All first impressions are snap judgments. It's based on what they see, how you're dressed, how you look, what exactly you are behaving as. It's body language. It has absolutely nothing to do with, oh, I've made a snap judgment, this is how they will be for all time. It's, do you appear to be a nice person?
That's the only reason that has any relevance to my life. Just to wrap this all up, before I start getting really angry and start yelling and people start getting confused because they're like, being beautiful is a compliment, why do you not like to be complimented? I would love to be complimented on anything else.
Then how about before you decide to make a snap judgment based on their first impression of you, why don't you do what you're demanding they do and get to know them? Before you make any sort of snap judgment, before you decide that this person is a bad person just because they decided to tell you how pretty you look today. It's supposed to be nice, but instead of it being nice these days, it suddenly becomes some sort of insult for someone to comment on your physical attractiveness just because it makes you sad face.
Just please, do me a favor, and do everybody else a favor. If you want to compliment someone, find something else to compliment them on, please.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, bear pun intended, but the fact that you don't like to be complimented on your physical attractiveness doesn't mean nobody else does. I've dated women before in many a situation, and I'm actually engaged to one right now. And the short and simple of it is I comment on their physical attractiveness not because that's the only thing I have to compliment them on, but because they actually enjoy it.
We're not doing anything for anybody by complimenting someone and saying that they're beautiful. That doesn't mean anything. We're just reinforcing arbitrary beauty standards. Let's compliment each other on things that actually matter, things that are in our personalities, things that we work to achieve, things that we're proud of.
One more time, because I feel it bears repeating. It is a first impression of someone on the street when they are commenting on your physical attractiveness. And I'm not saying that after they have gotten to know you, if they just continuously talk about how pretty you are instead of anything with some fucking substance, that you should continue to put up with that. But I'm saying somebody who has made a first impression, a snap judgment based on your appearance, it's not that they're idiots. It's not that they don't want to compliment you on something else. It's they have nothing else to compliment. They don't know you. I'm baffled at the possibility that you don't seem to understand that a first impression, somebody on the street, somebody you've just met, people who don't know you that well, they may not know your personal experiences, and they definitely don't know who you are as a person.
Yeah. Please! I am bored of being called beautiful. Feels good just to get that out. Like, nobody really understands me when I talk about this, but I hope I made it a little bit clearer.
This video was unbearable, and quite frankly, the major reason that it was unbearable is because she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand why people who have just met her are making these comments. It has nothing to do with that is all they are paying attention to. That's all they know. the short and sweet of this entire video is this woman doesn't seem to understand what a first impression is. They don't seem to understand that someone in a relationship with them wants to comment on their attractiveness because they usually will believe that this will make you feel better. It'll make you happy. You want to be called attractive. Let me give you a little bit of a possibility. What if nobody ever called you attractive? What if they didn't say a thing or compliment you at all when they first met you? Would this be a person you would want to spend time with? Is this a person you want to have in your life? Someone who says nothing good about you at first. But as time passes, they finally start to compliment you on some of the things that you have said, some of the things that you've talked about. But they never say you're attractive. They never comment on your physical appearance. They only say, oh, you're such a snappy dresser. You have such wonderful ideas. You're so intense. You would spit in their eye. And the major reason for that is because you are a selfish, egotistical, narcissistic lunatic. You cannot judge what other people say to you simply because you don't think they should say it. If they say it to you and you want to comment on that, feel free. But don't come onto the internet and spout that you are so tired of being called beautiful because it's so much of a burden. Quite frankly, I would love it if people commented on my physical attractiveness. And the sad part of it is they don't. And do you know why people don't comment on my physical attractiveness? Because they comment on physical strength. Because they comment on other things. They will not make an immediate snap judgment because people do not believe that it is a social concept to attract a male by saying, oh, you're so pretty. And sadly, that's just how it is. I mean, I'm not arguing that this shouldn't be changed or it shouldn't be affected in some way, shape, or form, but complaining about it on the internet to people who already believe what you believe isn't going to help. All it's going to do is give you a nice little box of people that will talk to you about how horrible and how much of an insult it is for them to comment on your physical attractiveness. And then you're going to draw in trolls. So many trolls. And do you know why you're going to draw in trolls? Because you're complaining about something so stupid and asinine that it literally says nothing about who you are. And this is the major point that I think Bering decided he was going to miss. Mainly because he's a nice guy. I'm not. I'm an internet asshole. You are ugly inside, and that is why you don't receive the kinds of compliments you want. Not because people don't see it, it's because it's not there. You are ugly inside, and it doesn't matter how much makeup, how much dyeing your hair you do, no matter how pretty you call yourself. If you are ugly inside, you will eventually be realized as ugly everywhere. And the only way to change that is to stop acting like a spoiled child. Like, comment, and subscribe if you've liked this video, and if you would like to check out Bering's video, I'll leave a link in the description. Thank you very much for listening and watching, and have a wonderful evening. And fuck you.